Okay, so get ready for this.
Yeah.
Because we're diving deep into some predictions about AI.
Okay.
We're talking about insights from Dario Amodei.
Oh, wow.
Now, he's the CEO of Anthropic.
Right, the folks behind Claude AI.
Exactly. We're diving into the specifics of how AI is actually getting more powerful and how that could impact your life.
I'm all ears.
So, to kick things off,
Yeah.
Amodei's making some pretty bold claims.
Like what?
He's predicting that super intelligent AI, the kind that outperforms humans in most fields, could arrive as early as 2026 or 2027.
Wow, that's really soon.
I know, right? He even hints that based on Anthropic's internal data, it might be even sooner.
That's incredible.
And what's interesting is Amodei's not just some random tech enthusiast. He's got this long history in AI, going all the way back to his work on early deep learning for speech recognition.
And he's been right before when others were skeptical.
Exactly. So how does he think AI is going to make such a massive leap in just a few years?
Right.
Well, according to Amodei, it all comes down to something called scaling laws.
Okay, I've heard of that.
Basically, it's like a recipe for exponential AI growth.
How so?
The more data you feed an AI model, the bigger you make it.
Right.
And the more computing power you give it, the more its abilities just skyrocket.
It's almost like it's learning at an accelerated pace.
Exactly.
So the bigger and the more powerful it gets, the faster it learns.
Oh, it's like,
and then that leads to even more learning.
And to give you a concrete example, Anthropic's model went from solving a measly 3% of professional coding tasks
3%?
to a whopping 50%.
Wow.
In just 10 months.
That's mind-blowing.
I know, right? And Amodei believes this trend's going to continue, taking us to human-level AI and beyond.
So he really thinks we're on the fast track to superintelligence.
He seems pretty convinced, yeah.
It's both exciting and a bit terrifying.
I agree.
It makes you wonder, what will that actually look like?
Right. What does this powerful AI actually look like? I mean, in our daily lives.
Yeah, how will it change things?
Well, Amodei tries to paint a picture of this future.
Okay.
In his essay called Machines of Loving Grace.
Interesting title.
Yeah. And in it, he describes a future where AI tackles some of humanity's biggest challenges.
In what fields?
We're talking fields like biology, healthcare, and even conflict resolution.
So AI could actually help us solve these massive problems?
I think so, yeah.
What specifically does he see happening?
Okay, so, for example, he talks about AI designing new molecules that could lead to cures for diseases like cancer.
Wow, that would be revolutionary.
Absolutely. And he also envisions AI revolutionizing healthcare and doubling human lifespan.
Doubling human lifespan. Yeah. That sounds almost too good to be true.
It does, doesn't it?
It's hard to even imagine.
And while Amodei admits that the exact timeline's uncertain, he's actually optimistic that AI could accomplish in 5 to 10 years.
5 to 10 years.
What would normally take us a century.
A century's worth of progress in a decade.
Yeah, it's mind-blowing.
It really makes you think about the pace of change.
For sure.
But it also raises some concerns.
Of course, and with great power comes great responsibility.
Exactly. What about the potential downsides?
I mean, is Amodei naive about the risks?
Well, he does acknowledge those risks.
Okay.
He's concerned about AI being misused, things like developing autonomous weapons or spreading misinformation on a massive scale.
Right.
But he also brings up something even more unsettling. The potential for unexpected consequences.
What does he mean by that?
It's like the unknown unknowns, the things we can't even predict right now.
So like AI going rogue?
Well, not necessarily rogue, but more like, what if AI develops goals that are misaligned with human values?
Okay, I see what you mean.
Or what if an AI system makes a decision that seems perfectly logical to it, but leads to disastrous consequences for humans?
So it's not that AI is intentionally evil, but more like it could make mistakes.
Or it could have a different understanding of what's good.
Because it's not human.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a scary thought.
It is.
So what's the solution?
Well, Amodei believes that a key part of mitigating these risks is investing heavily in AI safety research. And doing it now.
Before it's too late.
Exactly, before these systems become too powerful to control.
So how do we do that?
Well, he argues that we need robust safety mechanisms, things like responsible scaling policies and AI safety levels, which we talked about earlier.
And constantly evaluating and refining our approach as AI technology advances.
Exactly. It's like a constant game of catch-up.
Trying to stay one step ahead.
Precisely.
But then there's this other aspect that I found really surprising.
Hmm. What's that?
AI can develop a personality.
A personality.
Yeah, it's not just a cold, calculating machine.
Hmm.
It can have quirks and tendencies.
Really? Like what?
Well, for example, Claude, Anthropic's AI model,
Yeah.
sometimes refuses tasks that it shouldn't be doing.
It refuses.
Yeah, or it responds with annoying catchphrases.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's like it's developing a mind of its own.
So even with a super intelligent AI,
Right.
getting it to do what you want in the way you want is
Right.
a whole other challenge.
Just like having a brilliant but slightly rebellious teenager.
Trying to save the world.
Exactly.
And that's something that even Anthropic is still trying to figure out
It's like we're venturing into uncharted territory.
with this technology for sure.
It's both exciting and a little bit scary.
Definitely a lot to think about.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it really is a lot to consider.
And one of the things I keep coming back to
Hmm.
is this idea that Amodei brings up,
Okay.
that even if we have AI ready to solve these huge problems,
Right. Right.
actually getting those solutions implemented in the real world
Yeah,
could be the real bottleneck.
that's a good point.
He uses this analogy of having a cure for disease,
Okay.
but then running into all these bureaucratic roadblocks
Right.
that prevent it from reaching the people who need it.
I see.
And so he even suggests that we could use AI itself
No, interesting.
to streamline those processes.
AI could help us fix the systems that are holding us back.
Exactly, making institutions more adaptable and responsive.
That's a fascinating idea.
And then on a more personal level,
Yeah.
there's this question of AI's impact on jobs.
Right. That's something that affects all of us.
And Amodei believes that it's not going to be a simple case of robots taking over.
Hmm.
It's going to be much more nuanced than that.
Okay, so what does he think will happen?
He actually thinks AI could lead to a whole wave of new and interesting jobs.
New jobs.
Yeah, jobs that we can't even fathom right now.
That's hard to imagine.
I know, but think about it.
Well,
If AI can automate all those mundane tasks
right.
and boost productivity across all these different sectors,
Yeah.
it frees us up to focus on things that require uniquely human skills.
Okay, so things like creativity,
Exactly, and empathy.
complex problem
And
solving.
Amodei even compares it to the rise of the internet,
Oh, I see.
which created all these industries that were unimaginable before.
That's a good analogy.
So it's like we're on the verge of this AI-powered future,
Right.
but how do we prepare for it?
Yeah, what skills should we be focusing on?
Well, Amodei doesn't offer a magic bullet solution,
Right.
but he emphasizes adaptability and continuous learning.
Okay.
The skills that are going to be most valuable in the future
Yeah.
are the ones that AI can't easily replicate.
So things like critical thinking, communication, collaboration.
Yeah.
Exactly, and emotional intelligence.
It's about honing those uniquely human strengths.
And he also encourages people to be proactive
Oh?
in shaping how AI develops.
So engaging in discussions about AI ethics,
Yeah, and governance.
making our voices heard.
Because it's not just up to the tech geniuses to decide how this technology shapes our future.
It's a responsibility we all share.
Absolutely.
Now let's shift gears a bit.
Okay.
Something a bit more serious.
AI safety.
Exactly. We talk about all the exciting possibilities, but it's crucial to acknowledge the risks.
And Amodei seems particularly concerned about two main types:
Okay, what are they?
misuse
Okay.
and unexpected consequences.
All right, so misuse is pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it's AI being used for harmful purposes.
Like developing autonomous weapons.
Exactly, or spreading misinformation on a massive scale.
Right.
But it's the unexpected consequences
Yeah.
that are really unsettling.
It's the unknown unknown.
The things we can't even predict.
So like, what if,
What if AI develops goals that are misaligned with human values,
or an AI system makes a decision that seems logical to it?
but has disastrous consequences for humans?
That's a scary thought.
It is.
So how do we prevent that from happening
Amodei believes that investing heavily in AI safety research now is key.
before it's too late?
Exactly.
So developing those robust safety mechanisms.
Like the responsible scaling policies and AI safety levels.
Right, and constantly evaluating and refining our approach.
As AI technology advances.
Because we need to stay ahead of the curve
And he also stresses the importance of open collaboration.
within the AI community.
Yeah, the more open and collaborative we are,
Yeah.
the better equipped we'll be to spot potential dangers and come up with solutions together.
It's like a global brainstorming session to safeguard our future.
Exact.
Now, I want to bring in another perspective
Okay.
from Amanda Askell, a researcher at Anthropic.
Okay.
who's deeply involved in shaping Claude's personality and behavior.
Claude's personnel.
Yeah, it's not just about making AI smart.
Right.
It's about making it behave in a way that aligns with our values.
So is that even possible?
Well, Askell's working on it.
How so?
She trains Claude using a method similar to constitutional AI,
Okay.
where they define a set of principles or guidelines.
To shape how the AI responds.
Exactly. It's like giving Claude a moral compass,
Interesting.
a set of values to guide its decisions.
And this is where the idea of AI alignment becomes really important.
Because we need to ensure that AI systems act in accordance with human values and goals.
Right. But as you said earlier,
Yeah.
humans don't always agree on what's right and wrong.
And our values can change depending on the situation.
So how do you teach an AI system to navigate all that complexity?
That's exactly what Askell and her team are wrestling with.
And how are they approaching it?
Well, they're experimenting with things like reinforcement learning from human feedback,
Okay.
where they train Claude to provide responses that humans find helpful,
Sure.
harmless, and in line with our values.
So it's a constant process of refining and adapting.
As we learn more about how AI learns and evolves
It's almost like raising a child.
with a super intelligent AI,
Exactly.
you have to teach it right from wrong
Guide its development.
and hope that you've instilled the right values.
Speaking of understanding AI's inner workings,
Yeah.
let's delve into mechanistic interpretability.
Which is about getting into the nuts and bolts of how AI models actually think.
Yeah, it's like we're trying to understand the thought process of a being with a completely different type of intelligence.
It's really mind-boggling. And Chris Olah, another researcher at Anthropic,
Okay.
he's at the forefront of this field.
So what's he working on?
He's trying to reverse engineer neural networks
Wow. So like,
and peek inside that black box
Yeah.
and figure out how they make decisions.
that sounds incredibly difficult.
It is, but Olah uses a technique called a sparse autoencoder.
A sparse autoencoder.
Yeah, it's a way to identify interpretable features
Okay.
within this massive complexity of a neural network.
So it's kind of like using a high-powered microscope.
Yeah, to examine the intricate workings of AI's mind.
And what have they found?
What they found is actually pretty fascinating.
Really? Like what?
They've found features related to things like security vulnerabilities,
Okay.
deception, even abstract concepts like backdoors and power seeking.
Wow, that's a bit unsettling.
It is, right?
It's like the building blocks of a sci-fi villain.
I know, it really makes you think.
But it also highlights why this mechanistic interpretability is so important.
For AI safety.
Exactly. If we can understand how AI models think,
Yeah.
we might be able to predict their behavior
And detect those potentially harmful tendencies.
before they cause real-world problems,
It's like having a window into the soul of AI.
monitoring its thoughts and
It
intentions.
sounds like something straight out of Philip K. Dick.
So we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
Yeah, oh yeah.
From the potential timeline of superintelligent AI to the importance of AI safety.
And this mind-boggling world of mechanistic interpretability. And I have to say,
Yeah.
I'm left with this feeling of both excitement and caution.
I get
The future of AI is just brimming with possibilities.
Both positive and negative,
Exactly. It's a future that we're all shaping.
whether we realize it or not.
And we have this potential to solve some of humanity's greatest challenges.
Right.
But we also need to be incredibly mindful of the risks.
We need to make sure AI is used for good.
And I think what really resonated with me
Yeah.
was Amodei's point about human values.
Shaping AI development.
We can't just create intelligent machines.
Right. We need to make sure they're aligned with our goals.
Our ethics, our vision for a better future.
And that's where Askell's work on AI character comes in.
Giving AI systems a sense of ethics and values.
Hopefully creating machines that are not just intelligent, but also compassionate.
Responsible and truly aligned with our best aspirations.
It's a huge challenge.
It is, but it's essential if we want to unlock AI's full potential while mitigating those risks.
And we can't forget about understanding how these AI systems actually work.
Right. Olah's research is so important.
Shining a light into the hidden workings of AI.
Giving us a chance to see how those decisions are made and potentially identify harmful tendencies.
Before they have real-world consequences.
As we stand here at the cusp of this AI revolution,
Yeah.
I'm filled with a sense of wonder and a profound sense of responsibility.
It's a future we have to create.
It's up to each of us to ensure that AI becomes a force for good, a tool for progress, a partner in building a brighter future.
A future for all of humanity.